The 5 stages of grief explained. We start with 1. Denial. In 1969, psychiatrist Elisabeth Kübler-Ross documented denial after studying 200 dying hospital patients. Denial is a temporary defense mechanism against overwhelming psychological pain. Cortisol levels spike up to 200% during severe psychological shock, temporarily numbing brain processing. Your nervous system blocks full reality to prevent complete emotional collapse. Grieving individuals frequently set dinner plates for missing loved ones or text old phone numbers. This behavior is normal psychological buffering, not loss of sanity. Denial typically lasts from a few hours to several weeks before crashing into physical fatigue. Once shock wears off, extreme physical exhaustion and body pain set in. Over 80% of grieving people report feeling completely physically numb during this initial week. Forcing immediate acceptance during denial actually increases long-term anxiety levels. Next up, 2. Anger. Anger replaces the empty void of denial with intense physical energy. Emotional pain converts into fury directed at doctors' universe or surviving family members. Heart rates surge by 20 to 40 beats per minute during emotional rage episodes. The amygdala triggers fight or flight responses because helplessness feels like an active threat. Clinical studies show 62% of grieving adults experience directed hostility within 30 days of loss. Anger acts as a necessary bridge connecting numbness to reality. Screaming inside a car or punching pillows releases accumulated adrenaline safely. Suppressing this intense surge increases panic attack risks by double. Expressing anger constructively prevents chronic hypertension and emotional burnout. Writing angry journals helps lower blood pressure within 14 days. Now 3. Bargaining. Bargaining forces the mind into endless, if only, scenarios to regain control. People mentally replay bad moments 50 times a day trying to change past events. Guilt drives over 70% of bargaining thoughts during sudden loss or breakup. People construct unreasonable personal faults to explain random tragic circumstances. Making secret vows like, "I will never complain again if this fixes," peaks in this phase. Bargaining provides temporary hope before total emotional surrender. Carrying imaginary guilt creates heavy physical muscle tension in shoulders and neck. Most guilt in bargaining stems from false hindsight bias. Recognizing, if only, thoughts as normal brain defenses stops toxic self-blame loops. Dropping false guilt moves the brain into true emotional processing. Let's proceed to 4. Depression. Depression sets in when bargaining fails and permanent reality lands fully. Neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin drop significantly, slowing physical movement. Sleep disturbances impact 85% of grieving people during this intense phase. Appetite changes and social withdrawal force the body into energy conservation mode. Grief depression is not a clinical mental illness, it is a natural human response. Isolating briefly allows the nervous system to process profound sorrow. Crying releases stress toxins endorphins and leucine and enkephalin directly through tears. Emotional crying reduces measured bodily stress hormone levels by 15%. Allowing deep sorrow without fighting it speeds up mental recovery by months. Suppressing sadness extends the active grieving process significantly. And then 5. Acceptance. Acceptance does not mean you're happy about loss, it means acknowledging facts. Heart rate stabilize back to normal baseline levels. Prefrontal cortex activity restores, allowing logical future planning to resume smoothly. Sharp acute grief dissolves into quiet manageable memory. About 90% of individuals reach functional acceptance within 18 months post-loss. New daily routines form and social interactions become enjoyable again. Grief is non-linear. 60% of people temporarily revisit older stages during anniversaries. Looping backward briefly is normal emotional maintenance. Reaching acceptance integrates loss into your life narrative without constant panic. You honor the past while actively living in the present. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross emphasized in 2004 that stages were never rigid step-by-step checklists. Give your brain patience and time to heal at its own speed.